once again, and it's Crockpot Wednesday. And today I'm going to start a series. And I'm going to share with you why I'm so inspired by this series. You know, you hear on all of the survival videos and all of the preppers and everyone that's telling you you need to save money. What's the number one thing they tell you to do? Buy rice and beans, beans and rice, rice and beans and beans and rice. But they don't tell you what to do with it. I don't know if you're like me, but it's nice to have rice and beans and rice, but what do you do with it? So I'm going to start a series, and I'm going to share with you what we are going to do with beans and rice and beans. It's going to be low budget cooking, and it's going to be cooking using beans, cooking using rice. And I don't know how long this series is going to go, but I see there is so much of a gap. There's a gap between teaching and between doing. There's a lot of teaching videos where they're sitting behind a desk or sitting behind a table and they're telling you to write this down and do this and do that. But I'm not seeing people doing it. I'm going to be the doer. So today we are going to make recipe number 1 and call it in our low budget cooking. This recipe happens to be made in the crock pot, or you can make it in your pressure cooker, or you can make it on top of the stove. It really doesn't matter. What I really want to zone in on is less of this specialized cooking and more of the general cooking. In other words, the cooking, no matter what you have, you can use it. And you don't have to have a instant pot, or you don't have to have a crock pot, or you don't have to have any other cooking vessel. Whatever you have, you can make it. So I hope you enjoy this new introduction to this new series about what to do with all your rice and beans. And today we're going to make navy bean soup. In order to find some really low budget cooking recipes, you basically got to go back in time. And I found this cookbook in with all of my cookbooks. It is called the Electric Slow Cooker Cookbook. It was written in 1975. So let's get started, and I hope you enjoy it. Oh, another reminder, a few people said about me sounding scripted. I'm really going to try not to sound so scripted, but there has to be a certain script in a way to make a video, because I'm trying to teach people how to do certain things, and so you have to be, to a certain sense, scripted. Now, none of my videos are pre-written out. I'm not reading anything off a page over here or over here, but I'm trying to focus my mind on what I need to say and what I need to teach. So there will be structured videos from time to time, and they may sound a bit scripted, but that's only because of my language in the way I want to share and present to you a teaching video. I'm using my crock pot today, and of course I'm going to share with you the recipe at the end of this video. It's called navy bean soup. It calls for 1 pound of navy beans that were soaked the night before. Just a quick reminder, when we're working with dried beans, we normally have to soak them the day before. So if you're going to be cooking with anything with dried beans, you have to be diligent and you have to be organized and you have to set the beans out, and you need to have them soaking the day before. That way they turn soft. 1 pound of beans. These were cooked, these were soaked overnight. I also cooked these beans for about 30 minutes. Now, it doesn't call for that, but you know what? It doesn't hurt. So if you want to go ahead and cook your beans for like 30 minutes ahead of time, it really can make a difference in how quick your beans are done. And 8 cups of water happens to be 2 quarts. So it calls for 2 quarts of water. Now we're going to add some chopped carrots, some cute potatoes. What I did was, the day before, I chopped up all of my carrots and potatoes. So that's already finished. I'm going to add that to the soup. That, it calls for 2 medium onions. Well, I dehydrated all my onions. So we're just going to add some dehydrated onions. Now, it calls for an 1/8 of a teaspoon of red pepper. But I think I'm going to omit that, and I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. And it calls for some ham. And let me show you the ham that I'm going to use. So idea of this is the ham is going to make the broth. Now it calls for ham with a bone in it, and that's what really makes good broth. But I didn't have that kind of ham. I had ham steaks that were $1 each. I'm going to put 2 ham steaks in here. So I may have to add more seasonings when this is all finished, because this ham won't give me quite the flavor that a ham would that had a bone in it. This is not going to be a quick meal unless you put this in your pressure cooker. You can put this in your pressure cooker and have it as a very quick meal. But today I'm putting in the crock pot, and this will be in the crock pot for 10 to 12 hours. This is one of these very cheap, very frugal, but very slow cooking meals. And the reason why this is such a slow cooking meal is because the ham is going to just marinate with all of this. And this ham is going to become so tender and so cooked that it's going to make a rich broth. So I got the potatoes for free. The carrots was 2 carrots, and that was 12 cents for the carrots. And the beans were $1 at the Dollar Tree. They happened to have navy beans a couple weeks back, which is something they normally don't have, but the navy beans were $1. So basically, I'm paying $3.12 for this meal. The ham was $1 each. Now I'm making this ham rather large chunks. Now let's give it a stir and see what we need to do next. So there we have the ham, we have the beans, we have the carrots, and the potatoes. It looks really good. I'm going to wait and season it maybe about 4 hours in, because if I season it now when it's cold, it's not going to give the proper amount of seasoning. So we're going to go ahead, I'm just going to wait until it is hot and it's partly cooked. So I'll get back to you in another 5 or 6 hours, but with the magic of the camera, it'll be right after this. Alright everybody, so it is finished. Take a look at this. It was so frugal, so nourishing. Soup, my friends, is the way to go. If you really want to cut back on your spending and your groceries, top this with a salad or a loaf of bread, and you're good to go. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to share with you tomorrow what we're working on. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. And take a look. We got some snow. Not only are we going to have record cold temperatures, we have some fresh snow. Woohoo! What a great day to have some soup. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. From Fanny's Diary, we're on January the 30th, 1943. Fanny writes, Richard Garber was born this morning. I brought Marion from school in the sleigh with Kitty. That means they must have had a lot of snow. That's not nice. I just wanted to share with you what my son found for me. Look what he found. Isn't it beautiful? So, I have the right place to put it, and let's put it up together, shall we? Look at that! Isn't that so cool? Wow, that is neat. He also gave me some potatoes. So, we're gonna make some potatoes this week. That's just so pretty, and I wanted to show all of you. It looks perfect in my kitchen, don't you think?